Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to share a message that will change the way you think about life, love, and self-worth. We live in a world where women are expected to give, to sacrifice, to love endlessly, often without question. We are taught that honesty is the best policy, that love should have no secrets, and that we must wear our hearts on our sleeves. But let me ask you something. Has the world always been fair to the woman who gives everything? Has the world always respected the woman who lays her soul bare? Or has it time and time again taken her kindness for weakness? The truth is, a woman must never reveal everything to a man. Not because of deception, not because of fear, but because mystery is power, wisdom is control, and silence is strength. Today, I will share with you 3 things that a woman must always keep to herself. These 3 things will help you maintain your power, your dignity, and your self-respect in any relationship, whether with a friend, a partner, or even the world itself. 1. Never reveal the depth of your insecurities. Every person carries insecurities within them, moments of doubt, feelings of inadequacy, and uncertainties about who they are or what they're capable of. For women, these insecurities can be even more complex, shaped by societal expectations, past experiences, and internal struggles. While insecurities are a natural part of being human, there's a significant truth that many overlook. Revealing the depth of those insecurities can weaken your position in relationships, especially with men. When a woman openly expresses her deepest doubts, whether about her body, her mind, or her worth, she risks placing her vulnerability in the hands of someone who may not understand it, or worse, someone who might exploit it. Not every man will respond to vulnerability with kindness or empathy. Some may see these insecurities as an opportunity to manipulate, control, or diminish her. Imagine a woman who constantly questions her appearance. Perhaps she feels she isn't beautiful enough, that her body isn't ideal, or that her features don't match societal standards. If she repeatedly verbalizes those doubts to a man, he may begin to see her through the lens of her own insecurities. Even if he initially admired her beauty, her constant self-doubt might overshadow his perception. What was once attractive and confident may become clouded by her own words. The problem isn't the insecurity itself, it's the power you give it when you voice it too freely. Confidence is magnetic, and when you let insecurity dominate your identity, it diminishes the strength you naturally possess. By constantly revealing your self-doubt, you train others to see you through that uncertainty. Over time, your strengths may become less visible, replaced by a perception that you are unsure, anxious, or dependent on reassurance. There's another risk as well. Some men, especially those seeking control or dominance in a relationship, may intentionally feed those insecurities. They may use your self-doubt as a tool to manipulate you, making you feel as though you're not capable of standing on your own. They may convince you that you're lucky to have them, that no one else would want you, or that your flaws are too great for you to succeed without their guidance. In this way, your revealed insecurities can become a weapon turned against you. But does this mean a woman must never express vulnerability? Absolutely not. Sharing your feelings, fears, and emotions is crucial in any meaningful relationship. However, there's a difference between being open and exposing the depths of your insecurities without caution. Vulnerability is powerful when shared with someone who has proven themselves trustworthy, supportive, and capable of handling that responsibility with care. Instead of sharing your insecurities in their rawest form, transform them into strength. If you feel uncertain about your skills, focus on improving them rather than dwelling on what you lack. If you feel insecure about your appearance, focus on what makes you feel powerful. Whether that's taking care of your health, embracing your unique beauty, or dressing in a way that empowers you. Confidence grows from action, and as you build yourself up, those insecurities will naturally begin to lose their grip. It's also essential to surround yourself with people who uplift you. The right people will challenge you to grow without exploiting your fears. They will encourage you to become stronger, not weaker. If you find yourself in the presence of someone who amplifies your insecurities rather than helping you overcome them, that is a clear warning sign that their intentions may not align with your well-being. A wise woman knows that her power doesn't come from pretending to be perfect. It comes from recognizing her insecurities working to overcome them, and deciding carefully who deserves to see her vulnerable side. There's strength in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Some battles are meant to be fought within, quietly, and with resilience. When you walk into a room, your energy speaks before you say a word. People don't immediately see your insecurities, they see your posture, your smile, your confidence. By choosing to focus on your strengths rather than constantly revealing your doubts, you allow that confidence to take the lead. The more you believe in yourself, the less power your insecurities will have over you. This doesn't mean you should suppress your feelings or pretend your fears don't exist. Instead, learn to own them in a way that empowers you. Recognize that growth happens when you acknowledge your insecurities without letting them define you. Confidence is not about never feeling doubt. It's about refusing to let that doubt control your actions or limit your potential. A woman who carries herself with quiet confidence, who works on her insecurities rather than broadcasting them, commands respect. She stands out not because she is flawless, but because she refuses to be ruled by her imperfections. This strength creates a presence that is both magnetic and unshakable. The world doesn't need to know every moment of self-doubt you've experienced. It doesn't need to hear your inner fears shouted aloud. What the world and the right man needs to see is the woman who faces those insecurities with courage, who refuses to let them overshadow her worth, and who chooses to stand tall even when her heart feels uncertain. 2. Never reveal the full extent of your sacrifices. Sacrifice is often seen as a noble act, an expression of love, devotion, and commitment. Women, in particular, are conditioned from a young age to give selflessly, whether in relationships, family, or career. They are taught that love means sacrifice, that being a good partner means putting the needs of others before their own, and that true devotion is measured by how much they are willing to endure. But while sacrifice can be a beautiful thing, it can also be a dangerous one when given without boundaries or recognition. There is an unspoken truth that many women learn the hard way. When you reveal the full extent of your sacrifices, they often lose their value. What was once an extraordinary act of love can become an expectation. What was once appreciated can turn into something taken for granted. And what was once voluntary can start to feel like an obligation. Imagine a woman in a relationship who gives everything she has. She sacrifices her dreams to support her partner's ambitions. She gives up opportunities so she can be there for him. She adjusts her schedule, her needs, and even her identity to accommodate his world. In the beginning, he may appreciate it. He may acknowledge her efforts, thank her, and make her feel cherished. But over time, if she continuously gives without hesitation, without question, without balance, her sacrifices become invisible. The sad reality is that human nature often takes for granted what is given too easily. If a woman constantly sacrifices without hesitation, the man in her life may start expecting it rather than appreciating it. He may stop recognizing the effort it takes, stop valuing her choices, and even start believing that it is simply her role to give. Instead of gratitude, there may be entitlement. Instead of reciprocation, there may be expectation. And instead of love that grows, there may be love that diminishes under the weight of unbalanced giving. This does not mean that women should never sacrifice for love or relationships. Love, at its core, requires a level of selflessness. But there is a difference between loving deeply and losing yourself in the process. A woman must learn the art of measured sacrifice, where she gives from a place of strength rather than desperation, where she chooses what she is willing to offer rather than feeling obligated to give everything. One of the greatest mistakes a woman can make is to believe that the more she sacrifices, the more she will be loved. Love should never be earned through suffering. A woman does not have to prove her worth by giving up parts of herself. True love is built on mutual respect, shared effort, and a balance of give and take. If a relationship is built on one person always giving and the other always receiving, it is not a partnership. It is an imbalance that will eventually lead to resentment. Some men, whether consciously or unconsciously, may use a woman's willingness to sacrifice as a measure of control. They may expect her to always be available, always put their needs first, always be the one to bend while they remain unchanged. And if a woman makes the mistake of revealing just how much she is willing to give, how much she is willing to endure, she may find herself in a position where her sacrifices are no longer valued but expected. Sacrifice should be a choice, not an obligation. It should be given freely, not extracted. And most importantly, it should be recognized and respected, not taken for granted. A woman who constantly reminds a man of her sacrifices may be seen as complaining, but a woman who gives without making it obvious retains her power. When you quietly do something out of love, and the other person notices and appreciates it on their own, that is when it truly holds meaning. There is also a danger in making sacrifice the foundation of a relationship. If a woman builds her identity around what she gives to a man, then what happens when she stops giving? What happens when she finally needs something in return? A relationship should not be sustained by one person constantly making compromises while the other lives without sacrifice. Both partners should contribute, both should adjust, and both should value the other's efforts. The most powerful women understand this balance. They know when to give and when to hold back. They know when to sacrifice and when to say no. They understand that their love is not measured by how much they suffer for someone else. And most importantly, they know that keeping some of their sacrifices private allows them to retain their dignity, their strength, and their sense of self. In life and love, it is often the quiet sacrifices that mean the most. The things you do without seeking recognition. The choices you make that are unseen but still deeply felt. But even then, a woman must be careful not to give too much without receiving anything in return. Because the moment you teach someone that you will always be the one to sacrifice, they will stop feeling the need to meet you halfway. The key is to give wisely, to love deeply but not blindly, and to understand that your worth is not measured by how much you are willing to lose for another person. True love does not ask you to diminish yourself. It does not ask you to disappear so someone else can shine. It asks for balance, for respect, and for mutual effort. A woman who understands the value of her sacrifices and chooses them carefully is a woman who commands respect. She is not easily taken for granted because she knows her worth. She is not easily manipulated because she understands the power of boundaries. And she is not afraid to say no because she knows that love should never come at the cost of losing herself. So, never reveal the full extent of your sacrifices. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Give when it feels right, but never make the mistake of giving everything. Because the moment you show someone that you are willing to sacrifice without limits, they may start believing that it is their right to take without limits. Your insecurities are part of your journey, but they should never become your identity. The most powerful women are not those without flaws. They are the ones who carry their insecurities quietly, working through them with strength, determination, and grace. 3. Never reveal your next move. There is immense power in mystery. A woman who reveals her every plan, her every next move, and her every thought before she acts gives away more than just information. She gives away her control. She allows others to anticipate her, to prepare for her, and sometimes even to block her from reaching her goals. The most successful, respected, and unstoppable women are those who know when to speak and when to remain silent, when to share their ambitions, and when to keep them to themselves. It is natural to want to share our dreams and future plans with those we care about, especially with the men in our lives. When we are excited about something, when we are working towards something important, we often seek validation, encouragement, and support. But not everyone who listens to our plans has our best interests at heart. Not everyone who hears about our next step will be happy for us. Some will try to discourage us. Some will try to manipulate us. Some will even work against us in ways we never expected. A woman who speaks too soon about her next move risks allowing doubt and negativity to infiltrate her mind before she even gets started. Not everyone will see your vision the way you do. Not everyone will understand your ambitions. And unfortunately, not everyone will want to see you succeed. When you reveal your next move too early, you open the door for opinions, criticisms, and sometimes even sabotage. There are those who will subtly discourage you, planting seeds of doubt in your mind. A man may say he supports your dreams, but if those dreams make him feel insecure, if they make him worry that you will outgrow him or become too independent, he may try to dissuade you in ways that seem innocent. He may question your ability, make you feel like your plan is unrealistic, or suggest that it's not the right time. Over time, these doubts can take root, making you second-guess yourself and your choices. Then there are those who will actively try to stop you. A controlling man may feel threatened by a woman who has ambitions of her own. He may try to manipulate circumstances to make it harder for her to move forward. He may create obstacles, offer distractions, or make her feel guilty for prioritizing her own success. If she has already revealed her exact plans, he knows exactly where to strike. He knows what to say, what to do, and how to make her question whether she should continue. Even well-meaning people can unintentionally hold a woman back when she shares too much. Friends, family members, and partners who love her may project their own fears onto her. They may tell her to be cautious, to reconsider, to take a safer path. While advice can sometimes be helpful, too many outside opinions can cloud a woman's judgment and shake her confidence. What was once a clear, determined path can become a maze of doubts and second-guessing. The strongest women understand that power lies in action, not just in words. When you move in silence, you maintain control over your own destiny. When you work behind the scenes without the weight of outside opinions, you allow yourself to progress without unnecessary obstacles. This is not about deception. It is not about being secretive in a way that harms others. It is about being strategic, about protecting your dreams until they are strong enough to withstand external forces. A woman who keeps her next move private is not being dishonest. She is being wise. Imagine a woman who dreams of starting her own business. If she shares this plan too early with the wrong man, he may discourage her, telling her that it's too risky, that she should stick to something more stable. If she tells an insecure partner, he may feel threatened by her independence and create emotional roadblocks to keep her tied to him. If she announces her every step before she has secured her foundation, competitors may take advantage of her ideas, and people may criticize her before she even begins. Now imagine the same woman moving in silence. She quietly does her research, builds her resources, and takes small, steady steps toward her goal. By the time she announces it, she is already too far along to be stopped. Her foundation is strong, her vision is clear, and she has made enough progress that doubts and negativity can no longer shake her. The same principle applies to personal growth. A woman who shares every detail of her self-improvement journey, whether it's her fitness goals, her financial plans, or her emotional healing, may find that not everyone is supportive. Some may mock her efforts, waiting for her to fail. Some may challenge her discipline, tempting her to stray from her path. Some may even feel uncomfortable with her growth, wishing for her to stay as she was, because her evolution forces them to confront their own stagnation. But the woman who works in silence, who trains without announcing, who heals without broadcasting, and who builds without publicizing, is the woman who arrives with undeniable strength. By the time the world sees the results of her efforts, she is already standing firm, unshaken by the opinions that would have held her back. This principle also extends to relationships. A woman should never reveal her next move in love too soon. If she plans to leave a toxic relationship, she should not announce it before she is ready. If she wants to test a man's intentions, she should not reveal her strategy. If she has boundaries she is reinforcing, she should not warn him of every shift she is making. Moving in silence allows her to observe without interference, to act without manipulation, and to make decisions from a place of clarity rather than reaction. Powerful women understand that unpredictability is a strength. When people cannot anticipate your next move, they cannot control your actions. When they do not know what you are planning, they cannot interfere. The element of surprise is a powerful tool, one that allows a woman to navigate life on her own terms, without unnecessary resistance. This does not mean that a woman should isolate herself or refuse support from those who genuinely want the best for her. Trusted mentors, close friends, and those who have proven their loyalty can be valuable sources of guidance and encouragement. But even with them, there is wisdom in choosing what to share and when. Timing is everything, and some plans are best kept private until they are ready to be revealed. A woman's next move should always be a reflection of her inner strength, not a performance for the approval of others. She should take action for herself, not for validation. She should build her life based on her own vision, not based on the expectations or doubts of those around her. When a woman masters the art of moving in silence, she becomes unstoppable. She does not seek permission to chase her dreams. She does not wait for others to understand her vision. She does not allow outside noise to dictate her path. She simply moves boldly, quietly, and powerfully until she arrives exactly where she was meant to be. And when she does, the world will not have seen it coming. They will only see the results. They will see the woman who was once doubted, once underestimated, now standing in her power. They will wonder how she did it, how she overcame, how she succeeded despite the obstacles. And the answer will be simple. She never revealed her next move before it was already made. The lesson is clear. A woman should always protect her plans, guard her ambitions, and move with calculated intention. She should understand that not everyone needs to know her next step, because not everyone deserves to have a say in her journey. She should build, grow, and rise in silence, knowing that the most powerful moves are the ones made without warning. And when the time is right, when she has already secured her victory, she can let the world see what she has accomplished. Not because she needed their approval, but because she has already won. A woman's strength lies not only in what she reveals, but also in what she chooses to keep to herself. In a world that often demands openness, she must learn the power of silence, restraint, and mystery. By guarding the depth of her insecurities, she retains control over how others perceive her, ensuring that her vulnerabilities are not used against her. By keeping the full extent of her sacrifices private, she maintains her dignity, preventing her efforts from being taken for granted. And by never revealing her next move too soon, she protects her dreams from unnecessary interference, allowing her to move forward with clarity and purpose. A wise woman knows that not everything needs to be shared. She understands that true power comes not from seeking validation, but from self-assurance, not from sacrificing endlessly, but from creating balance, and not from announcing her plans, but from executing them with quiet determination. She walks through life with confidence, knowing that her worth is not defined by how much she gives or how much she shares, but by how well she guards her strength, her dignity, and her vision. Ultimately, the most powerful woman is not the one who reveals everything, but the one who moves with purpose, speaks with wisdom, and holds within her a quiet force that cannot be shaken. She is the woman who understands that some things are best left unspoken, some sacrifices are best made in silence, and some victories are best revealed only when they are already won.